If you're trying to do virtual wholesaling the old-fashioned way, let me tell you, you're making it harder for yourself to do that. Now, what is the old-fashioned way? The old-fashioned way is the way I used to do it back when I invented the term virtual wholesaling. I'm considered the godfather of virtual wholesaling. When I invented that term back in 2007, and actually I was doing it 2 years before that. And a lot of people are still doing virtual wholesaling today. It's hot. People are like, oh my God, look, I got this new thing that you can do, virtual wholesaling. And I'm like, what? That's so old, man. What are you talking about? And but everybody's doing it the old school way. And so in this video, I want to share with you the new way of doing it, the easier way, the way that's going to get you the most opportunities. And I'm going to give you a special tip on how to take advantage of the housing crisis and how to apply my new virtual wholesaling strategy, which actually we're going to call something different because it's technically not virtual wholesaling, and then people get it confused and say, oh, you're talking about virtual wholesaling. No, we're not doing. We're talking about nationwide wholesaling. Nationwide wholesaling, or maybe even call it national wholesaling. And don't go try and go register those domains. You know why? Because I own those domains. That's why. When you make up shit, and you make up names, guess what? I swore on that video. Not supposed to swear, but I don't want to re-record the whole thing. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't penalize me for that. But anyway, we're going to continue on. All right, so what is the old school way? The old school way of doing virtual wholesaling is where you are going to pick, and I'm sitting here in my garage actually. No, I don't have a Lamborghini, inside joke. But I just finished working out, and it's 10 something at night. And I thought I'd share with you this particular tip here that we're having here right now. Anyway, let's get on with the show. The old school way of doing virtual wholesaling is where you are going to pick a market, one market. You're going to say, you're going to do your analysis, you're going to do a bunch of different things, and you're going to then try to decide what one market you're going to focus on. And then, you know, first of all, it's really difficult to find one market because likely is that you're looking at all this data. You have absolutely positively no clue what you're looking at. And in the end, it's almost the equivalent of taking a dart and putting it and throwing it on the dartboard, because that's about the extent to which you are able to make any sort of reasonable analysis. And I'm not saying it's you. I have been through that, and it's nearly impossible. You just pick something, right? And you just give it a shot. And that's what, the old model, the old school way of virtual wholesaling is where you're picking one market. And then now you're taking that one market and you're doing multiple strategies on that one market. And for example, you might say, hey, let's say for example, I decided to do El Paso, Texas. Listen, I'm not telling you to go to El Paso. I'm just telling you that as an example. So don't everybody here go rushing to El Paso and screw it up for everybody. I'm not saying there's anything to screw up in El Paso because I have no idea. But anyway, I gotta stop having those tangents. So you'll pick El Paso and then you'll decide, hey, I'm gonna go out and get deals. So what do? I'm gonna go get a tax delinquent list. I'm gonna go get a list of property owners that have vacant properties. I'm gonna get a list of property owners that are in pre-foreclosure. And then what are you gonna do with that list? Maybe you're gonna call that list. Maybe you might send them postcards or letters. Maybe you might go ahead and skip trace the phone numbers and then send them a bunch of text messages, and pretending that you are their best friend, but in reality, you're a real estate investor like everybody else, and they're annoyed at you and calling you all sorts of names and all that kind of stuff. And maybe you like that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't like that kind of stuff. I usually like texting people and having them reply back to me in really pleasant, with really pleasant things. Okay, so that's the old school way of doing it. What is the new way? The new way is to go out and instead of picking one market, you are picking a large geographic region. And so, like, for example, I live in Florida. So what am I going to do? I'm going to pick the entire state of Florida. That is going to be my market. If you're in Texas, you're going to pick the entire state of Texas. And what's going to happen is you're going to get leads very inexpensively. Now, the trick is, there's only one way to do this. Oh my God, Chico, are you going to mention Facebook ads for motivated sellers like you've done in all your rest of your videos? Yes, of course I am. So when you use digital marketing, such as Facebook, such as PPC, and what you're doing is that then you're selecting that large geographic region, then those platforms are able to find you all these different sellers that are not targeted by anybody else. All these property owners that are willing to sell their property at a discount. Then they raise their hands and they fill out forms and they submit their information. And they say, hey, please call me. I want to sell my house. And then you have pleasant conversations with them because you're not chasing them all over town. You are not calling them at inopportune times. You're not text messaging them when they don't want to know, they don't want to hear from you. They don't know who you are. They're raising their hands and saying, hey, guess what? I am interested in selling my property. Chico, please respond back to me. Now, they wouldn't say that to you because your name isn't Chico, but you get my drift. And in the end, guess what? you are going to have leads that are going to be, you know, $10, $12, $15 a lead, as opposed to what you normally spend for a lead. If you're going, say, direct mail, you might spend $100 a lead. And if you're targeting locally with PPC, you might be spending $200 or $300 or $400 a lead. But instead, you would target the entire state. And guess what? Now you've got amazing deals. Now, if you want to take it one step further, you target the entire country, or maybe just a grouping of states. Maybe I'm in Florida and I've done deals in Texas, done deals in North Carolina. So I'll combine all those states and I'll create one marketing campaign, and I'm targeting those people, and then I'm getting leads. And that is the new method of virtual wholesaling. It's called nationwide wholesaling. It's called national wholesaling. It's a brand new name. And that is what I recommend, and my students are having amazing success with that. And now the question that comes up is, Chico, aren't I going to get a bunch of leads in a bunch of little towns, ghost towns, where nobody lives inside? Yes, you're going to get some of those leads. But guess what? You can make money from those leads. I've got customers that are doing that every single day, that are doing their first deal by targeting these small little areas that, you know, they're getting leads. And they're targeting the whole state, and then they're getting leads in these small little areas that nobody else is targeting. Why is nobody else targeting these areas? Because when people pick a market, they pick the large metro areas, because then if they pick a small area, it doesn't make sense. If you're going to do marketing like direct mail in the old school way, it doesn't make sense for you to pick a very small area, because then you're going to run out of names. But when you can target that entire state, now the entire state is the entire, you're getting leads from the entire state. All right, I lose my train of thought when I'm not talking fast enough. That's why I talk really fast, because I lose my train of thought. So anyway, that's what I'm talking about. And let me tell you, it is, I was the one that created a lot of the postcards that are being used by a lot of the real estate investors today. You know, the ugly postcards, the blind copy, the third notice, final notice, and all those property postcards, right? And I had never seen any results for my students as I've seen now today with Facebook ads and with online marketing. So consider that. Consider the fact that rather than you fighting it out with every single other investor that's trying to get deals in a very small market, why not try something else? Why not try and targeting an entire state where now you can get amazing leads? And the challenge is you can't do that strategy with any other method except online marketing. Why? Because you're not going to mail the entire state of Florida with postcards and letters. It's impossible. Are you going to go broke? It's not impossible. Yes, you could do that, and the post office would be very, very happy because you're giving them so much business, and they're going out of business anyway. And but you're not going to do that because it's just going to cost too much money. And so if you're interested in learning that strategy, how to find motivated sellers on Facebook, a video is going to pop somewhere here, or maybe here, or somewhere there. I don't know, but click on the video. Click on the video, subscribe, and check out the training.